Let's get myself ready here. Okay, welcome everybody. Continuing our reflections upon limiting beliefs. We all have limited beliefs, more or less limited. Maybe wisdom could be defined as having less limiting beliefs, becoming more wise. I used to believe that liberation would be the absence of all limiting beliefs. I no longer have such a high bar. Our perspectives will always be skewed by our experiences. There are too many conditions to know everything. We will always have an absence of information. And it seems almost instinctively we will fill it in. We'll fill in what happened with assumptions. I don't think we can stop this process, but I do think we can question our assumptions and hold them more lightly. And so I'm going to speak about an experience I've had recently where I had an absence of information. I filled it in with limited beliefs and then got the opportunity or took the opportunity to correct some of those limiting beliefs, which I would say is the same kind of process that we follow in reflective meditation. We inevitably have limiting beliefs. We learn more, we fill in more about our limiting beliefs and hopefully correct some of them. So as some of you know, I plan to move into a continuing care community in a few years. In the meantime, for the last many years, I've been going to the pool and hot tub. It's a great place to swim, exercise, relax, and it's a benefit as a future resident. We're allowed to do that. But about a month ago, I went to the pool. I went to the continuing care community, and there was a sign that the pool was closed. That had never happened before. Well, it had closed during the pandemic, but it never closed when I didn't know why it was closed. And the woman who worked the front desk, when she told me about this, she had a look in her eyes that let me know that something bad had happened, but she wasn't allowed to tell me what. And so the assumptions began. But I guess I was intent on basing my assumptions on some reality. And so I began questioning people, asking them what had happened. First one was Oscar, our friendly wait person. He didn't know he wasn't supposed to tell me, so he told me what happened. He said, someone drowned in the pool. Yikes. I started weaving stories and fears about what might follow. Now, some of my fears were embedded in how it might impact me if I could continue to use the facility, how I could continue to use the facility. Yes, these were somewhat self-centered, but there was also this kind of irresistible curiosity. What happened? Would the health department come in and make all kinds of rules? Would they now require a lifeguard all the time, which they didn't have? Would they require us now to always go to the pool with someone else, never alone? Would they let future residents like me in the pool? And so these limiting beliefs started weaving a whole new reality. Although I was holding this all lightly, I knew that I was making up these stories. I was intent to know more. Yes, it was intriguing mystery that impacted a routine I loved, but maybe more than that, I really wanted to know, how my views were skewed, what was closer to what actually happened. Fortunately, a week later, the pool reopened and I returned to my weekly workout. Now, usually there's only one person in the pool in addition to my wife and I. Sometimes they're even all alone there. How fortuitous. Last Sunday, though, I met up with a very friendly, talkative woman in the pool. She informed me that it was a woman, not a man, who drowned. I thought it was a man somehow. And that this woman had died in the hot tub, not the pool. I thought it was the pool somehow. I had this whole image in my mind. And then I told her I expected that there'd be all kinds of restrictions after the drowning. She corrected my view. She said this place was not like that. Residents here were free to make their own choices. And I thought, by implication, take their own risks. She compared it to the very large continuing care community right next to this one, where, quote, she said, they watch your every move. She said, I wouldn't want that. I thought I wouldn't want that either. And then I thought some more about it. You know, old people are vulnerable, very vulnerable. How much do we need to be watched over? It became clear that I'm willing to discern for myself the risks that I'm willing to take. And it confirmed that I was choosing the right place to live in the future. Now, yesterday, again, I'm still curious. I can't get this curiosity to go away. I spoke with a fellow in the hot tub, it turns out. So this guy we'd met up with week after week and become very friendly with. In fact, we were really kind of worried. That was another assumption. Oh my God, was it he who died? No, thankfully, he was very alive and lively in the hot tub. And he corrected some more of my views. No, the pool wasn't shut down for all the reasons I assumed. It was shut down as a way to mourn for the woman. He didn't think this was a good choice. But, you know, when you live in community, you need to live with some choices you don't think are the best. He thought she should have had a celebration of life rather than the limitation of the pools for others. Anyway, he told me that it turns out first she probably had the heart attack and then drowned after that. Because when a work person found her body, they did CPR and there was no water in her lungs. And then he said, well, you know, we all come here to die. That rang true to me like a well-tuned guitar. And I stopped seeing this as a tragedy, but as the inevitability for each of the residents, and of course for everybody who's birthed. And then I remembered the birthing hot tub where a good friend of mine birthed her daughter. My belief shifted 180 degrees. What a pleasant way to die. So relaxed, so comfortable. So it felt like at that point my beliefs became less limited, but maybe somewhat wiser. So this is what we hope for in reflective meditation. As you become more curious and more friendly and more aware of your beliefs, they become somewhat less limited, somewhat wiser. And we also hope that, you know, that's the motto, you know, oh, I didn't put that into the, oh dear, I never made it into the final Dharma talk, but as I was driving away from the place, I saw a van next to it with the motto of the continuing care community, living the life you choose. And so I figured, that's the right place for me. That's what I want to do. That's how I want to live and die. And that's also how I want to meditate. And that is what we're suggesting to you, that you have choices for how you meditate. And we trust that you will be able to discern for yourself what risks you best take and when you best seek firmer ground. And so on that note, I will end the talk for today, and we will